All right, welcome to another episode of My FX Buddies, the podcast. All right, and I say podcast because there's a blog, which is at myfxbuddies.blogpost.com. And then there's a transcript at rss.com, My FX Buddies. And then the other places that this gets dispersed to: Apple, iPod, Spotify. I think I forgot to mention Spotify.com has video. And what, and then Rumble, but Okay, so wherever you're listening or watching, if you're not on the blog already and you want to go to the blog, look in the more or description or whatever box, and a link to the blog will be there. All right. So this, it says Sunday, March 3rd, because that's when I'm recording this, but I don't know. I'm cutting it really close to get it uploaded and have it listed everywhere I just mentioned. So it may say March 4th. Okay. And the reason I say that is because the information covers March 2nd and March 3rd, so the weekend, and it was pretty good weekend info. And let's see what the weekend brings, because Monday, if there's some spectacular news, then I may do another post. So it would seem there would be 2 Monday posts, but really it's not, right? Okay. So we'll get right into it. The title of this is "With the Dollar Bill, Deputy Says the US Treasury is Putting Pressure on Iraq." So I just think it's very interesting. 10 years ago, maybe even 7 or 8 years ago, a House of Representatives member would not blatantly come out and say this. Right? And now they are. Here's another one. This isn't even Maliki's alliance. This is another one, probably Iranian backed, but there you have it. And they're accusing the US Treasury Department of obstructing the Iraqi government's reforms in light of waving the economic card through the dollar file. So look, you're going to do what we want, right? Or we're going to make you stay on the dollar, because when they do get to go to dinar with no restrictions, we'll lose power. Not all the power, because we still have control over their oil. I know people don't believe me, but unfortunately the documents, they've been removed off the internet. Any trace of them are gone. But the Department of Defense, I believe, is involved with every barrel of Iraqi oil. And consider who were the authors of the plan, right? All right. So, did I not put? We might be missing a critical article. Let's see. Oh, I have them out of order. Of course. But anyway, so here, Iraq, expectations of a decline in the dollar difference and a return to the official rate. This came out Saturday. And I put, okay, we haven't seen these words in a while. This is a good article, maybe indicating a turnaround. That's what I have there. So it's Safwan Kwase. He comes on TV a lot. They interview him a lot. I don't know if he says, hey, bring me on tonight, or if they bring him on, right? But the mechanism of the central bank previously did not know who was requesting the dollar from the informal market, and after the legalization of the financial transfer process, the demand for the dollar in the informal market began to enter the electronic platform. So they were saying before, we didn't know who was requesting dollars still. Now we do. Oh, you know what? There was one other thing I want to show you. Hopefully I can do this. Pretty quick. All right. Yep. Okay. So go back over here and don't let me forget. Okay. All right. So, then there's other stuff. The central bank is now investing in spreading financial inclusion. That's great. We want everyone included in the new way of doing. I have an article. I really like this one sentence. We want everyone included, right, in learning how to use the electric system if you want to, right? We don't want to force people, which is what they're doing. Leave both. Leave cash if they want to use cash, like we here in America. Today, anyway, we can pay with cards. We can still write checks. Look, they don't even have checks. They skipped right over that. But anyway, so controlling the movement of the dinar and knowing where it comes from and where it moves, so they're tracking it, tracing, right, will help in commercial regulation and enhance the level of international investor confidence, which is important. In financial procedures, we also have a file on money laundering and terrorist financing, and currently, with the expansion of the circle of financial inclusion, we will be able to know where the dinar goes. And that is what happens, people, when you have electronic money. That's why the next thing they want to do is what? CBDCs. They want to know the man, what's his name? I can't remember. But the big man who takes up the whole screen, who works for the IMF, he wants absolute knowledge of where every peso, dollar, what was euro, he wants to know. And the absolute, I forget the second word, but it's not knowledge, but that's what these electronic systems do. They want to know everything you spend your money on. And then the next step from that is penalizing or rewarding, right? Oh, good on you. You bought a bunch of vegetables. Here, we're going to give you a few more CBDCs because you're buying vegetables and not meat. But someone like me who buys meat, who buys coffee, who buys candy, ice cream, I'm going to get penalized because I'm totally off what they want, right? Sorry. Yeah, I just went way off. Let me bring myself back. Anyway, so yeah, that came out. And then they talk about $70 trillion outside the banking system that they want to bring in. So this is a great article. Okay, it came out Saturday. Today, guess what they said at the closing? Okay, so tomorrow morning when the offices open, it may be different, but this was the closing. The dollar is falling in Baghdad and traders are getting rid of large quantities for fear of a greater decline. So that sentence right there tells me they know the decline of the dollar is coming because they've been told since 2018, right? Maybe even before then, but we know a body used to tell them your currency is going to be the most valued currency in the world. And here we are, and they're still waiting. But so these traders who are holding on to dollars, once they see it going down, trust me, they're going to try to get rid of them, right? But so they fell on Sunday evening to below 1,500 for the first time in months. I know it says under 150, but it's not. It's 1,500 dinars per $1. And then if you go down here, it says 149,750, but that's per $100, right? So you take off 2 zeros from the 100, and you take off 2 positions from this number, and that's how you get to 1497.5 and 1490 dinars per dollar. And that's where it closed at. So we'll see. We shall see what we shall see. Currency disturbances caused by abandoning large amounts of foreign currency for fear of further decline in prices. So good. That was good. And that was good. All right. Now let's see. Look at this. This came out today. Iraq offers itself as a bridge to connect Asia with Europe and Africa via internet. That looks weird. Transit. What? Little Iraq with trash for money? I know money has nothing to do with communication and internet and all of that, but the diversity of transit projects will enhance Iraq's ability to attract international companies to pass their buses through Iraqi territory, as it is a shortcut and safer route in the region. So, that is actually transit, right? So this is a weird article, I will say, but also it could be a bad translation. So, but for its international communications, especially with the current security challenges for the region is going through. So remember last month, yes, it was last month, there were all these upgrades to their system. They had a couple of, maybe 2 or 3 major partnerships or whatever, for lack of a better word, I don't know, with those financial, no, what's the word? Jeez Louise. Technology companies, right? And I was saying, and even then I didn't even know how to describe it, but I knew it would make it more modern, faster, and constant, right? You know, they still have where it drops and you have to go through, you know, at least probably 5 times before you probably get done what you want, right? Yeah, so they think they're gonna route themselves. So it's an international communications traffic. Okay. So I was like, what? That's a pretty bold thing they're doing right there. But they are a hub of all kinds of things. So yeah. You can read that if you'd like and make it make sense to you, because I'm sure I destroyed it. Foreign Minister, Iraq may adjust its financial budget for this matter. And guess what the matter is? To pay recovery and transit fees to international oil companies in an attempt to restart an important oil pipeline. Could that be the one in Turkey? Yes, it is. So maybe they're closer. They may have actually made some headway on that after it was stopped. So it's been a year. Right here it says a year after it was stopped. So this is good, especially for Kurdistan. Kurdistan gets that money because it's the Kurdish region where that pipeline is. So that's good. Forward movement. That's probably one of the things in the holding up them moving the budget forward. So that's a much longer article, but you know, that was the main point. But the article's there if you'd like to read it. What it says. Now, this is not news, so I'm not sure why they again had it out. The Iraqi central bank confirms the provision of 5 foreign currencies as an alternative to the dollar for merchants. So, yeah, it started last year, the middle of last year. But they had to reiterate it for some reason. These currencies have become available to merchants for the purpose of financing foreign trade. When a merchant imports goods from China, he can now pay the Iraqi dinar to the Iraqi bank, and through the bank, the amount will be paid to the Chinese company and factory in the Chinese currency. And the same goes for the rupee, the euro, the Emirati, UAE Emirati, and Jordan dinar, right? All right, here's my one commercial. You should go check it out. All right. Here, Parliament collects 150 signatures to pass the the blocked laws. So there's been never before has there been so much admitting, not admittance, admission of, what's the word? I don't know. So many people have been acknowledging, how about that these laws are sitting there waiting to get done. And then there's parliamentary optimism that 60% of the suspended laws will be approved. Some laws take 2 months before being presented to the council, but we are optimistic for the best during the legislation term of the third year. The first legislative term of the third year, Parliament can complete, well, there's more words here, right? Parliament can complete more than 60% of the laws on the agenda. Good. All right. Just a fact here. American official Ian McCurry. And then if you're going to read this article, they interviewed Macquarie. No, it's the same guy. It's just for some reason, this sentence, his name is spelled correctly, and the next paragraph, it is not. It's the same guy, okay? That happens a lot in their translation, but it's AI doing it, so not a human. But yeah, and this is a rather long article, but did I say there is no plan for there is no plan for the international coalition to withdraw from Iraq. And then he goes on to explain why. And yeah, so I know some people will read that. So I have the whole entire article there. Here, an economic center points out problems in the work of Iraqi institutions and sends an open invitation to the government and parliament. So this is Iraqi Political Economic Center. I don't know how long they've been around, but they're in the news more and more. And it may be Sudani may have made this group, but whatever. So they have monitored many problems in the work of federations, unions, associations, councils, and associations operating in Iraq. So they've seen the issues and they have the answers. And they say, hey, come meet with us and we'll tell you how to do this. And also your work with Lebanon, Arab and international levels. Yeah, we got some help for that too, right? So this is another long article. Here's the last paragraph. He stressed that this work would create a good business environment that is supportive and safe for the country's economy and would also provide the services that employers involved in it expect and activate the role of the private sector. Ding, ding, ding. For those of you who may not know, the reason why I get so excited about that is as long as I've been in this, they've been waiting to change the rate and they've been waiting to activate the private sector. So possibly they're going to go together. Who knows? All right. Here, I just have this in here because people wonder, where's Maliki? What's he up to? He's still around. He's still doing government stuff. Maliki informs the French ambassador of Baghdad's desire to develop the relationship with Paris. So there's the French ambassador to Baghdad, and there's Maliki. All right. So remember when I said, oh, let's not get too excited about the IMF, because sometimes they say all these good things to Iraq, but then when they go back and do their report, their Article 4, which there is this the article? No, there's an article explaining Article 4 of the agreement. So Article 4 of the agreement establishing the IMF stipulates that bilateral discussions with member countries usually take place on an annual basis. A team of fund experts visits the member country, collects the necessary economic and financial information, and holds discussions with officials about economic developments and policies in that country. So, the tangled web, right, that is woven when you take money from the IMF is that right there. And how many articles are in it? Here, so we know that at least 4, right? So, some people had questions, well, Article 4 of what? And, and it's as if Iraq heard us, and there's the answer in that article. So this one is one that may be troublesome. To achieve economic stability, the IMF directs 4 requests to the government, and the IMF fund called on the Iraqi government to adjust public finances, increase the public sector wage bill, expand the tax base, and increase non-oil revenues even more to achieve economic stability. So when they get the final report done, you'll see that there. So it doesn't seem bad, but that's why I was like, let's not get our hopes up too high. And they did have a separate warning, the IMF warns Iraq of its economy being exposed to oil price shocks. So, not bad. And I would say that Iraq is not the only country that's, all of the OPEC nations are, if we shift away from oil, which is not going to happen, they have to find another way to make money, right? Okay, so then there was one more here. The IMF praises the steps of Central Bank of Iraq to support the economy. So, a mixed bag, but we still have to wait for that final report. That's what goes down in history, not these articles here. All right. Let's see. Here is more about Article 140, a demonstration for employees of the Article 140 Implementation Committee. So they want money. And Article 140 has been passed. So what's the delay? Here, you're the committee that was put into existence to get some stuff done, right? To achieve. And you still haven't. So they, in front of the committee's headquarters in Baghdad, they may stage a sit-in and go on strike in the event their rights are not met. And I don't know what all the rights are, but I like when they talk about Article 140 at a time where people are expecting the rate to change. So, and some of them have reached retirement age. Some of the people waiting to receive the benefits of Article 140, that's how much it's been. I don't know if they've been waiting 20 years, but They've been waiting some years, at least 10. All right. And that's just more of that article. And here's some pictures of the men that were in the crowd. Okay. A lot about the automation of the ports, which this is so boring to me, right? I'm not, I read this, but I'm just going to say we need this. It gets all the ports and what's ports and something of entry, points of entry and border crossings. They all have this system. The system's ready. They're all supposed to be on one system to combat corruption, improve the economy because they'll collect more fees, which they have. Yeah. So read that. That's great. But they don't want to implement it. So, oh, I almost forgot, but I just remembered. So, the finance minister, she actually went to one of them with cameras. She actually got mad at them. And it even says what angered her. Basically, they don't want to get on. She was like, hey, there's a lot of goods accumulating at the ports, but because people don't want to run them through this system right here, this ASYCUDA system, which is international standards, right? It's automation, international standards. That's a global system. So she's like, hey, get on board. Don't get mad at me. And in fact, they're going to have some courses, but I think there's a time limit. This says March 4th, but this is the time they're going to be training them. But there was backlash, and who knows? Think about it. Do they have stable electricity? Is there 24-hour electricity to keep this computer system going? Is everything up to par on Baghdad's side that needs to be to make it run? What if it isn't? And what if that's why they're not so excited about this system like they are? I don't know, but I'm just saying it is something that's needed, right? And it's good. They'll all be on the same page. I presume our country probably is on that system, because we're supposedly a first world nation, right? That does everything. There's no corruption here, right? We're just so on the up and up. But anyway, okay, so that's that. So now it's 28 minutes. Though there was other stuff, but those are the major things, the good things, right? It's all good. All good. So I want to touch on Forex. Let's see. Oh. Iraq has been on Forex. Excuse me. The IQD is on Forex. It's been on Forex for years. It's not open. It has restrictions, yes, but it is there. So cross that off. It's already there. And I can show you. Here it is. USD IQD. IQD USD. Great British Pound to IQD. Euro to IQD. Single currency crosses. There's another. This is investing.com. Currencies. Single currency crosses. So there's other things out there, like it's on TradingView. TradingView means you view the trades. This number changes. You can go to the Google and get the rate from Google. Matter of fact, I'll do that right now. Put USD to IQD, or it may need to be the other way around. There it is. So they have 1307. But here's the chart. You can chart 1 year, 5 years, right? And there's all this movement. There's movement because someone is trading it. Probably governments, right? They're probably making big buku bucks. Is it unfair? I had an uncle who raised me. When you bragged about something wasn't fair, he said the fair is in Pomona, because there was an annual fair, the Pomona Fair, right? So, yeah. But so that's what it says right now, March 4th, UTC time, whatever that is, 1307. And you can refresh it. And it'll change again, right? But so understand now, granted, this is free. This is free information, right? So there is a paid part where the professional traders trade, and you have to pay and you have to be experienced and know what you're doing. And some people who have access to those systems, some see it there and some do not. And some of the ones who see it there can't access it. So look, you see how it just changed. Did you see that? I don't know if you're looking, but see how it briefly puts a block of color behind it because it's changing. Okay, so it's 1279.78, which that's different from Google. Why is that? I don't know, but those are things that I observe. I look at this every day because one day I fully expect to go there and see 0.301 or something very close to. Kuwait is always 0.307 or 308. So that's what I imagine the IQD, when it gets on par with Kuwait, it's going to look the same. Matter of fact, I think I could probably show you USD KWD. Look at there, trading view. Okay, I need to put it the other way. Ew. Kuwait to USD. $3.25, right? So, yeah. I hope that will put that. It's as clear as mud, as they say, right? Who told them to do that? Who determines the rate? How come only some people can trade it? And remember, 2 years ago, they opened it up to the citizens to trade Forex. I know people don't remember things like that, but I do. But I know no one listens to me because I'm just little old me. I don't have contacts. I don't have a team. I'm just me. So, also, another thing that has to be put to rest again, results of the foreign currency selling window, which is the auction, Sunday, March 3rd, 2024. That is yesterday now, right? They had an auction. This is how much dollars was sold. 216,098,544 were sold. They have the auctions every day. They are not gone. I don't care who tells you that. That's why I tell you. I'll show you right here how you get to this yourself. Go to cbi.iq. This is what it looks like. Mine is going to automatically switch it to English, okay? Yours is not. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Scroll all the way down to this image right here. See, mine already went to English. It says currency sale window. Click that image. guess what? There's the daily results. Oh, it already has Monday, March 4th. They've already done Monday's auction. See there? So the auction is done every day. I don't care what guru or whatever you want to call them out there says they're done. They're not. March 4th, 2024. Results of foreign currency selling window. Stop listening to people when you can go get information yourself. Okay? This is one thing you can do yourself every day if you so choose to. But okay? All right, so we're over time, but I definitely wanted to do those two demonstrations for people. All right, so let's see what this week brings. So far, so good. And Sunday is the first day of business, in my opinion. That's when the stock market opens again. So that's why that's when the kids go back to school. So to me, that's the first day of the week. All right. I hope you enjoyed, not enjoyed, because all this stuff is boring, right? But whatever. I hope this helps you stay in the game. That's the whole point. Stay in this, right? Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals. Pay all your bills. Yeah. Learn what you can, because this learning also investigation, listening to people and finding, well, how can I determine that for myself? Those are skills you're going to need going forward in your investing life. You know, they're going to tell you what they think they want you to hear. They're going to tell you what they want you to hear, right? The onus is on you to find the small print and see what the small print says, right? So, okay. Anyway, let me stop talking. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you're enjoying this content. Oh, and wherever you're looking, whatever, if there's a join or a follow or whatever button, click that. And that way, because I don't update regularly, when I update, if all things work like they're supposed to, it should automatically tell you, hey, there's a new post. All right. Until next time.